Hello, welcome to the first video and guide of how to play Danny's World. This video is version alpha 0.2.1.1, and so it may be missing some things that are not yet. In this video, we'll just be going over UI in the lobby as well as everything in the lobby itself. Um, I've looked on YouTube, and there are not very many guides on this game, but a lot of people play it. So I figured that I would make a playlist on how to play this game. So first, when you start off, the game will give you two choices of a character you want to be. The first one will be Buxton. He looks like this. Or the second one would be Poppy. Buxton is the purple box guy, and Poppy is the light blue bubble girl. I recommend starting out with Poppy because Poppy allows for more experimentation and allows new players to learn better. Buxton is still good. Um, he does something a bit better than Poppy, but this might not be good for a new player to be able to learn how to play at a better pace. So first we'll be going over the UI we have on the screen. Over here, information. This is the tutorial. It gives you some text and some images of what to do and how to play. This is not a very comprehensive guide, though. And I believe this pops up the first time that you try to play the game. But it just gives you basic details about everything. Some of these things might be different in the future. You can mouse over all of these, or hover over if you're using a phone or tablet. It'll give you different details about everything. More stuff, and more stuff. I won't be going over this because you can read it yourself, but I will be going over visual aspects of these things so you can see it actually taking place rather than a text box. So below this we have settings. There's a few settings. We have highlight arrows, which I recommend to put on, especially as a new player. It will help you know where the elevator is when you need to get back inside of it, which will be explained in a later video. Here, we have toggle loadouts, which will be, I believe it saves your tune and your trinkets, which we'll get into later, for when you go out on an expedition. So I recommend putting this on. And sprint toggle just toggle sprints. You use to sprint, you use left shift. And the toggle, if you have it on, you just press it and continue sprinting. With it off, you have to hold left shift to continue sprinting. I leave it on because sometimes I accidentally sprint even when I'm not holding left shift, which really sucks because I'm wasting my stamina. But we'll get out of the settings. Over here, we will have, it'll display the two trinkets that you have, which will be explained later, and this is your main currency, the Ichor, wherever you say it. It's the main currency. You use this to buy more tunes and trinkets. So that's the progression in the game. If you press this, it will basically give you options to purchase an Ichor if you want. You don't need to. You don't need. This is not pay to win. You can just go through everything and still get everything, regardless if you pay for it or not, which is nice. It just speeds up progression. There's use codes right here. You can input a code. I won't be showing codes here. You can look it up online or other videos that take like a minute to do it. But yeah, here we have the Twisteds. So this is the Twisteds game. When you boot it up, everything will be black and empty, and you won't be able to see what everything is. The most important thing to note is that it will stop in research. And click one of these, it gives you details about the Twisted you selected. So you have Twisted Shrimpo here. It's a common Twisted, and it'll give you a description. I believe all this unlocks once you reach 50% research, and once you reach 100%, you unlock their trinkets. Most of the twisted trinkets happen to be very useful. This one is useless, detrimental actually. But yes. Yeah. Now they go to trinkets. Here you can select your trinkets that you want to use for the game. So if we equip them, they'll be shown here. You won't start off with any trinkets. You'll be empty-handed and won't have anything. You can use the codes to get more itcher, but it won't be enough to get a trinket. But it will give you a nice head start. And there's a lot of different things here. It just gives you a image, title, description, easy, and equip it unequip. The machine manual and pink bow. Actually, the blue bandana and the pink bow are Foxton's and Poppy's trinkets, so you'll get them pretty early. But yes, that's how trinkets work. That's what this menu is for. Close out this and go to tombs. This is the most important thing to note. When you start out, you'll just have Foxton or Poppy, and they'll look like this without this being a zero. It'll show their stats, their health, skill check, movement speed, stamina, stealth, and extraction speed. Toons have 2 abilities, either passive or active, and Foxton and Poppy just get a passive, which is very useful as a new player because as an active one requires a bit more skill to use. Every toon has something called Mastery, and each toon will have 6 missions for you to complete. Click View, and it'll look like this. So Foxton's Mastery: finish 50 machines, pick up 30 items, survive 25 floors, survive 1 floor with 7 players in your round, use 30 items, and travel 50k meters. Once you complete the mastery, you're rewarded with the vintage skin. So you get vintage Foxton. It'll change into this. Go back to the default skin. But yeah, that is how mastery works. Mastery unlocks skins. Can also unlock additional toons for you to use. So we'll go over here. Oh yes, and the last thing, it's the stats. It just shows how much of one thing you've done. It's only really helpful as knowledge if it needs a certain amount of something. Like there's for 1 mastery you need to experience 15 blackouts as that character. Actually, that won't be useful. But sorry, Dandy items purchased. You need like 25 or 50 of these, I think, to unlock a toon. But yeah, it's not really important. Just nice to look at. This is just a closet of random things. There's a lot of lore in here. These posters. There's the main characters. But yeah. Over here we have the UGC store. It's just a dandy helmet leaf thing. You just go over here, press the open merch, boom. I don't think anyone really uses that, but if you were wondering. An actually important area. This is the shop, the store. This place right here, it's not very visible. Honestly, I kind of missed it during like my first playthroughs. But if you go up to here, it'll say open shop. It definitely needs a visual indicator that this is a shop. Besides that, besides walking up to it. But here you have, technically 4 options, but 2 of them won't be available until later. We can buy trinkets and tune licenses here. Trinkets, these are different than the twisted trinkets that you get, as they require Itcher to buy. So this speedometer requires 450, and some trinkets require additional objectives to complete, such as finish 30 machines. And some have 2 requirements, such as buying 30 items from the daily shop and pick up 75 items for the pop pack. I've never really bought a lot of these, only bought like 1 or 2 during the start of my play, just so I could have a trinket to begin with. But these aren't really necessary, and the twisted trinkets are much more powerful anyway. Here we have tune licenses. You can buy tunes here. It'll be a lot more filled up, just because I've bought a lot of the tunes already. But you can hover over one, and it'll tell you how much Itcher is needed to buy it. And similar to the trinkets, they might have 1 or 2 objectives for you to complete. These rainbow guys are main characters and have 2 abilities and 2 hearts instead of the normal 3, and 1 ability. So we have Astral here, needs 5,000 Itcher. All the main characters need 100% research on themselves, and they have an additional objective. So we need to encounter Twisted Dandy, which is this guy right here. And we have B, just similar, 4,500 Itcher, but you need to complete the mastery on Brightney. So a few characters, you need to complete their mastery before unlocking these main ones, which is kind of cool. And they have all these different stats on the stars. The greater the amount of stars, the more powerful that stat is. So Astro has the max stealth, and V has the max extraction speed. But that's the store. And over here is basically the main lobby. You're probably spending most of your time here. There's 3 different elevators for you to go into, but they're just the same. This, you can walk up this, it's a bell, it rings. I just like it ringing. There's another one over here. And there's not really much around this, it's just like cosmetics, aesthetics. It looks really nice, honestly. They did a really good job. So yeah, so to start a game, you just go into an elevator, and it'll just be leaving in 15 seconds. You can have a max of 8 players, and if you need to leave the elevator, just click leave queue. And that is basically everything in the lobby and all the UI that you'll see when you start this up. In the next video, I'll be talking about how the general gameplay works, as we'll actually be diving into the game. But thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.